Student died in pancake eating contest after choking on concrete like paste. There's a grief that's all-consuming, deep in your very core, when an unexpected tragedy occurs, especially when it happens to someone you love. When unexpected tragedy strikes, it can produce an array of painful emotions. We're deeply saddened and even angry by senseless loss. But what happens if tragedy strikes twice? Is life worth carrying on when grief and the fear of it happening yet again evokes an endless sorrow? Kaitlyn had her entire life ahead of her, full of promise and potential, inspired by her father's premature death to give back to those in need. However, Kaitlyn's dreams would abruptly come to a similar end, and by unimaginable and unlikely source. A hero father. Kaitlyn, a 5-year-old, barely started kindergarten when her dad, a Port Authority hero cop, died from a terrorist attack in the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. Kaitlyn's father, James, was one of 37 officers from the bi-state agency killed on that tragic day. Like many first responders that day, James was helping to evacuate people. Life is a blessing. James was on the 27th floor of one of the towers when the building collapsed, but his legacy lived on through his daughter's dedication to encourage others to help those in need. In the 16 years Kaitlyn grew up without her father, she learned at a young age that every moment alive is nothing short of a blessing. A grieving widow. Growing up in a quaint town in Connecticut, Kaitlyn's happy life was quickly changed into tragedy the day her father died from the attacks. The loss caused irreparable damage for her mother, Rosanna, who could not come to terms with her husband's sudden death. However, her mother knew that she had to build up the courage and strength to learn to live with his absence, no matter how impossible it may have seemed at the time. A life worth living. Kaitlyn's infectious smile and bright personality worked as a natural healing force in her mother's life. Experiencing each moment in life with Kaitlyn had shown her mother that life was worth living again. But sadly, it would be in her mother's destiny for tragedy to strike again. Following her dad's footsteps. Kaitlyn, a junior at Sacred Heart University, had been studying social work as a sorority member of Kappa Delta. Although she'd only been a small child when she lost her beloved father, Kaitlyn was inspired to continue in his footsteps by showing an endless show of love and compassion. She felt that it was her calling to spend it volunteering and aiding those who are also coping with trauma and loss in their lives. Love of volunteering. The compassionate 20-year-old was a certified youth mental health counselor and volunteered at the Resiliency Center of Newton, Connecticut. This nonprofit organization was developed to help those affected by the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. Witnessing the detrimental effects of her loss, Kaitlyn put her heart and soul into working with kids impacted by the shooting. A shining star. She was a shining star, said Kaitlyn's best friend, Sink. It was a different tragedy, but Kaitlyn was able to relate and help others heal. There wasn't anyone more selfless than her. She always had a smile, always there for the kids. No matter what you asked of her, she would do it, and she'd do it with such grace and such love. Sorority life. Active in sorority life, Kaitlyn Nelson enjoyed participating in the endless fun activities centered around Greek life. On a weekly basis, the sorority sisters planned and organized various events on and off campus. The pancake eating contest is a far cry from the current hysteria around college hazing parties and seemed like innocent fun. However, it would prove to be just as dangerous. Greek Week celebration. All the members of the Kappa Delta sorority had been waiting months for the upcoming Sacred Heart University's Greek Week celebration. On March 30th, an on-campus school-sanctioned pancake eating contest for charity was taking place. Members were expected to stuff their faces with as many pancakes as they could in a short period of time. Pancake eating contest. When the time had come for the contest to begin, the scene was hilarious as the crowd cheered on. And as the contestants forcefully and rapidly shoved the pancakes down their throats, something went terribly wrong. After consuming 4 to 5 pancakes, Kaitlyn started to shake uncontrollably, and then she fell onto the ground. A lieutenant arrives. There was a lieutenant there in 2 minutes, a police source said. He ran across campus to try and help her. They couldn't get the airway open. The lieutenant, Robert Calamaris, age 42, happened to be working as a rotating officer assigned to campus duty during a 12-hour tour that night. A failed attempt. Calamaris, along with Sergeant Mike Paris, age 34, and Officer Paul Medvigi, aged 46, tried the Heimlich maneuver on the unconscious and unresponsive Kaitlyn. "We did what we could until paramedics arrived," Calamaris said. "It's difficult, it's intense, and it's tragic for the family, and of course for the entire Sacred Heart community. It's difficult to go and face the parent and tell them what happened." Her final act of kindness. Even when she was no longer alive, Kaitlyn's natural eagerness to better humanity in some way would live on in her final good deed. As an organ donor, Kaitlyn gave life to others when hers could not be saved. That's exactly what Kaitlyn would have wanted. She's just the type of selfless person she was, said close friend Stephanie Sink. She was a beautiful human being. The lawsuit. Kaitlyn's mother has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the university. The lawsuit seeks an undisclosed amount of money and accuses the school of approving the contest despite the dangers. And lastly, for the schools failing to provide adequate medical personnel on site. Preventing any more senseless deaths. According to lawyers, Kaitlyn's family is bringing this case to expose the dangers associated with amateur eating contests and to help prevent other families from having to endure this type of preventable tragedy. These contests are significantly more dangerous than people realize, and it's critically important that the public, especially educational institutions, understand that certain foods are safer than others, and a modicum of forethought can literally save lives. What happened to the lawsuit? The lawsuit claims that Sacred Heart not only approved the contest and the use of pancakes, which the complaint says is a particularly dangerous food to eat quickly, but it also failed to have medical personnel on site in the event a student started choking. The lawsuit still is being litigated. However, Kaitlyn's fatal situation has sadly influenced other Greek organizations across the country to reevaluate their creation of contests that may ultimately cause injury or death. Kaitlyn's legacy lives on. Kaitlyn's Kappa Delta sorority sisters have created a custom charity bracelet for sale in her honor. Although the group has not commented on the tragic event, the bracelet, designed in conjunction with Kaitlyn's family, features emerald green beads and the words "Kaitlyn Gives." Kaitlyn was the vice president of community service for the sorority, and 50% of the proceeds will go towards the sorority's Shamrock the Runway charity fundraiser, helping her legacy live on. Check out these other videos from Let Me Know. If you haven't made the move to subscribe to our channel, all you need to do is click on that red subscribe button. Thank you for watching.